The indie gaming scene is only getting better, and thanks to games like Silksong, Stardew Valley and Enter the Gungeon, it's no surprise. Today I'm going to give Wizard with a Gun a spin and see if I can earn its Platinum Trophy. This means I'll have to repair the Chronomancer with 53 gears, craft 4 different types of bullets to level 20, beat all of the game's bosses and even defeat Chaos itself. Wizard with a Gun is an online cooperative sandbox survival game that blends fast-paced shooter combat with crafting, base building and resource management. It's a mix of survival action-adventure with roguelike elements which focus heavily on experimentation with different ammo types in your firearms. At the time of recording this video, only 754 people actually have the Platinum Trophy. As always, if you do like what you see, please like and subscribe, and let's get into it. We start up the game, pick our save file, and then we've got to choose our difficulty. We decide to go with Gunslinger as he appears to be the normal difficulty setting, and then we're thrust into the first cutscene. I'm saying first cutscene, but it is the only cutscene in the game, and we're introduced to our characters making some pretty glowing bullets. All of a sudden there is a big kaboom which sends the ship crashing to the ground. While we're in a coma, we're able to choose how we're going to look. Nothing helps you to mourn the loss of the crew members like fashion does. After waking up from our vegetable-like states, we're able to explore the world. We find our first tangy leaf and then punch a rock to death in order to get some more resources. We collect the items that the block drops and then we pick up some apples. We then run into a Cryptomancer ghost thing who tells us that everyone is dead. He does tell us though that if we collect enough Arcana we can open a door, and from that we may be able to turn back time. We then decide to go foraging for some more materials, and eventually we get enough wood where we can craft our first gun. Once we've crafted our wooden gun, it's time to try it out, so we decide to shoot a rock. Not the rock, that's someone completely different and I don't think he'd appreciate it. We finally find some weird tentacle monsters and we're able to take care of them with our new wooden gun. These then drop us some Arcana and we're able to open the door. We jump through the door like a cat getting out of the rain and we find our stronghold. The stronghold is our base of operations, and this is where we can research better ammo, store our collected items and upgrade our clothing. We put a flame in the hand which then builds a bridge over to the book. The book is the first edition and it's important as it allows you to scan items and enemies. This in turn lets you craft more stuff in and for your base. It also helps us unlock the clothing upgrades which we're going to need later on for some of the trophies. We explore the stronghold and we scan a few more items. On our exploration we also find a few more cogs which are just lying around. We need to collect 53 gears for the All the Time in the World trophy. There are other trophies for collecting 10 gears and 20 gears, but ultimately we're going to need all 53 if we want to get the platinum. After exploring the stronghold we find our third gear. We decide we're going to take this, pop it in the clock, and that pops our first trophy which is Prime Time, which we get for restoring the Chronomancer wheel with 1 gear while playing in single player. Now that we've got some gears into the clock, we're able to roll back time and head out onto a new expedition. We set out, but this time we have our magic book. With the book in our hands, we scan anything in sight, but when we scan Hilda, she unlocks an area that has a crafting bench. When we scan the bench, we get access to the World Builder Hammer, which allows us to craft things that we have previously scanned. Once we scan the bench, we get a quick tutorial on how to use it. With this bench, we can replenish our ammo, we can make enhancing powders, and we can even put spells on our bullets. We craft some more bullets and then we build our furniture gun. With our furniture gun built, Hilda lowers the door and we can collect another gear. Gear in hand, we return to the stronghold and place it into the clock. Every time you return a gear to the clock, it will show you how many gears you'll have access to on your next expedition. So here we return 1 and we're going to have 4 that we're able to get to the next time we run through. Things go a little bit differently this time, and just like an uninvited guest at Christmas, Chaos turns up. Chaos puts a time limit on your expeditions, and when that limit runs out, more tentacle freaks are unleashed and will try to end your runs. We ignore this for the time being and get to work building our bench and restoring the research machina. Once these are repaired, we head out onto another expedition. Now, there's a couple of things to note here. You can see on the top of the screen that there is a timer. This is because of what Chaos did. And you can see on the little mini-map that there's a star. The star indicates where the enemies are who are hiding the cogs. Once you get to the star, you can see where the cog is because it's a big purple sort of icon above a character's head. All you have to do is kill that enemy and then you can claim the cog. You do have to go up and press X on it to pick it up. It won't just pick it up as part of your inventory. But once you've done that, you get a cog, take it back to the clock, and this is the meat and bones of the game. This was the point we started to explore the land we'd just discovered and get into grips with the game while defeating enemies and collecting cogs. The exploration was going well. It wasn't long before we'd killed a number of enemies and had 3 cogs in our possession. The only issue with having so many cogs in your possession is that if you die, you lose them all. The only thing you keep when you die is your health potions or health items and your firearms. Fortunately though, we didn't die this time. We made it back safely and deposited our cogs into our clock. At this stage we decide that we need to have somewhere to store our items, so we decide to build a chest, and we can store whatever we collect in there for when we need it. After we built our chest, we head to the research machine to see if there's anything further that we can unlock. We only have limited materials, so we decide to upgrade our first edition before we craft some more bullets and head out onto another expedition. We do a couple more runs, but as you can see by the timer, we have actually ran out of time, so we're being mauled by the forces of chaos. Fortunately, the forces of chaos aren't familiar with the old runaway technique, so that's what we do. We get through the door, and when we put the cogs in the machine, we get our second trophy, which is a grand old time, and that's for putting 10 gears into the machine. For the next trophy, we're going to try and survive in the apocalypse for 5 minutes. The good thing about running around in the apocalypse is it gives you a chance to harvest Arcana, and you need that for the higher powered bullet types at the end of the game. In this instance, we are literally just trying to survive for 5 minutes, so we're just dodging enemies, taking a couple of pot shots, just keeping our distance, and to be honest, it doesn't tend to get too hectic until you've unlocked the later levels of the game. After you've kept your distance for long enough, you'll pop the trophy, you're the Omega. At this point, we've gathered enough materials so that we can upgrade some of our bullets, which makes them more powerful. We put these to work almost straight away when we killed this enemy that sort of looks like a Tor Terror. Unknown to me at the time, this is actually a Construct Meccana, and once we kill him, we get the trophy Deconstructed for killing or charming a Construct Meccana. It's also important to note here that you do need to scan this enemy with your first edition as well, just so that you can unlock the upgrades for your clothing. Next, we come up to this doorway and we've got to kill 2 people holding keys in the immediate vicinity to unlock it. The guards are just normal enemies and they shouldn't pose too much of a threat to you, especially if you've been upgrading your ammo. Once you've defeated both of the guards, you'll be able to jump into the portal. When you do so, you'll be in your first boss fight. I do have to confess, at this point I didn't know that I was going into a boss fight, so I'm grossly underprepared here. Despite looking like a fat dinner lady, this is actually the Mechantress, and we need to defeat her for a trophy. After we scan her with the book, we decide to take the fight to her and we set her on fire. Admittedly, this does piss her off and might not have been the best strategic move in hindsight. Being that she is a big fatty fat, she's not too hard to evade. The most annoying part about her is that she will summon mobs which will try and fight you as well. Almost karmically, she does actually catch us with an Anthony Joshua-like punch, which does a fair bit of damage and is a reminder of why we need to keep our distance. Chubster McGee over here summons a Tor Terror to come and attack us, which we didn't see coming. We also have another problem in that we've run out of ammo and we're not sure what to do. After running away like a cowardly mouse, we decide that the best course of action is probably to craft another wooden gun. At least that way it will give us some ammo and we'll be able to attack her with it. The only issue with the strategy is that every time we do go to craft it, she charges at us and tries to knock us on our ass. With our newly crafted wooden firearm, we managed to wear down the boss a little bit further to the point where she's staring death in the face. Rather frustratingly, she does decide to hide behind the Tor Terror and play an annoying game of peekaboo to try and attack us. Fortunately, it doesn't work and we're able to land the killing blow, which unlocks the trophy Isa Gladwell. We return to the stronghold and look at upgrading our clothing. We managed to scan the Mechantress, which unlocked an upgrade for our gloves. The upgrade increases the fire rate of weapons, and once we enchant, we get the trophy Fastest Guns in the West. We decide that we're going to try out some new bullets, so we buy the Shocking Bullet. Unknown to us, we've actually unlocked an area in a swamp, which is called the Fell, and all we have to do for the next trophy is electrocute an enemy through water. So here we are, shooting some enemies with our new Shocking Bullets when one of them steps foot into the water and pops us the trophy. It's back to the sewing board for the next trophy, and this time we enchant a dash ability onto our boots, which unlocks Leap of Faith. By this point in the game, we're roaming, killing, collecting, scanning and obtaining cogs. We've got another 2 cogs on us, so after meandering through the apocalypse and returning home, we put the cogs number 19 and 20 into the clock for the Big Time Operator trophy. We're feeling particularly cruel for our next trophy, and as you can see on the bottom of the screen, we've put oil and fire bullets into one of our guns. So we decide to find an unsuspecting victim, we lube them up with the oil and then set fire to them for the Greek Fire trophy. Bit of an accidental one, this one, but we're going through the fell and we come across this weird squid in a hood who is holding one of our precious cogs. We decide to shoot him with a number of poison bullets, and it turns out that he is actually a fell anarchist, which gives us the trophy, This is Anarchy. Next up, we're going to shatter the ice on an enemy. For this, we need to have the cold bullets, and I decided to go with the lightning bullets as they are ridiculously OP. Here we find our victim, we freeze him, and then zap him, and that gives us our trophy. After traversing around the fell enough, we had reached the portal for the boss. This portal was only guarded by one enemy, and after a couple of games of Ring Around the Rosie, he finally fell down. We leap into the portal and it's boss time. This slippery devil is Orion. We start the battle by scanning him. This unlocks a number of clothing, which you'll see pop up on the top left, and then we shoot him with shock bullets to see what he's going to do. A good rule for bosses is if they cannot hit you, then they cannot kill you. And so what we want to do here is we want to bait out a couple of attacks and see what he's about. The tact we used for him was to keep away and shock him, and if he gets too close, then shoot him with poison bullets, and that will create a bit more space. This appears to be the right tact, and after a few more attacks, it's clear that Orion can't really touch us. It also helped that I brought enough ammo into this fight, a lesson learned the hard way earlier in the video. After a few more shock bullets to the face, it finally ends the fight and gives us the trophy, the Stark Raven Magus. After overcoming Davy Jones, it was time for us to upgrade our equipment. This time we focused on our backpack so we could collect more items every time we ventured out. After all of our scanning throughout the game, all we needed was 7 soil cloth and 10 lead ingots to gain us the bigger backpack too, and the trophy, Backpack. For the next trophy, Sorcerer's Apprentice, we actually craft burning bullets to level 11. The trophy requirement is level 10 or higher, obviously 11 is higher than 10, and that gives us the trophy. While we're at it, we do the same thing, this time just with poison bullets, and that gives us the trophy Dark Arts Dabbler. There's a Magus Among Us, and that's for crafting Charming, Healing, or a Repaired bullet above level 10. We then do the same thing with the cold bullets, and that gives us the trophy Experiments in Transmutation. Once we had completed the swamps, we unlocked the ice levels and we got our 35th cog. We travelled all the way back to the stronghold, added it to the clock for the trophy, a time-honoured tradition. While we're walking around the Arctic tundra, we come across this big guy who has grenades and an axe the size of a small vehicle. After dipping, dodging, diving and ducking, we managed to knock him over for the Who's the King Now trophy. It's boss time again, and this one is against a guy called Kolana. He is just as straightforward as the last boss, and it is just a case of keep your distance, stay out of the AoE splash attack zone, and keep your fire up on him, and eventually you'll take him down. That will give you the trophy, the Adductant Air. The trophy Intoxicating is next, and for this one we need to use a poison finisher bullet on a poisoned creature. So here we are shooting this little prairie dog with poison bullets, we then switch to our sepsis bullet, and as soon as we hit it, we pop the trophy. We're back to crafting next, and for this one we craft the 3rd health regeneration enchantment on our amulet, and that gives us the trophy Healing Factor. You can only unlock these upgrades once you've been scanning all the enemies and the sort of sub-enemies and the bosses, so that's why we've been doing it, but keep doing that and you'll be able to unlock it in no time. We fall into a bit of an abusive relationship here. We're going to make this guy with the sack fall in love with us because we're going to shoot him with our minigun. The minigun is full of charmed bullets, and once he is charmed, we then shoot him with a healing bullet, which gives us that Mend a Friend trophy. This next trophy is one of the tougher ones. For this, you have to survive until day 5 while averting the apocalypse. So you want to go around to these arcana bubbles, I guess, which are on the map, and every time you kill them you'll get an extension to your time. You want to do that enough to the point where you've extended it to 5 days, and once you do so you'll get the trophy, just like me. If there's an ice level, it obviously means there's going to be a fire level. For this one we have to hit a creature with a force accumulated in stasis, so we freeze our little guy here and then we shoot him with some force bullets to give us the Force of Nature trophy. Next we're upgrading ammo, and we finally finished upgrading our shocking bullets, so we put them to level 20 here. All we have to do is go over to the crafting bench, craft the level 20 shocking bullets, and that gives us the trophy Sorcerer Supreme. It's a good job that we did upgrade our ammo to level 20, because this is the point in the game where the enemies start to body your shots. Here we found a mage hunter, so we're trying to dodge around these little enemies all while we're getting some more shots off. Eventually we do hit the last shot on the mage hunter, and that gives us the trophy. The hunter is now the hunted. It's boss time once again, and this is the guy that you fight at the end of the Barren Sea, which is like the desert stroke fire level of the game. The problem with this boss is that he's a sniper who likes to get in close to you. Now typically snipers like to stay far away, and this guy will try to stay far away from you, but he shoots you, he's quite accurate, and his bullets leave a trail of fire. The problem is with closing him in is that he can punch you in the face and it hurts a lot. I would make the argument that this is the hardest boss fight in the game. When you go into this fight, you do have to have your ammo leveled up as hard as you can get it. You do have to keep your distance, you have to look for shelter, all the while not getting stuck on any of the objects as you try to traverse the map. He will also shoot fire in one direction and then shoot it in another, which kind of traps you in a little area for his third shot, so you have to be sort of aware of what he's doing. But so long as you time your rolls and things like that, you can dodge his shots and you can stay away from him and survive the encounter. I actually beat him on my third attempt, and even on the third attempt, now that I'm watching the footage back, I can see that there are a few times I probably should have died and have survived with like 51 health and stuff like that. He is a really, really challenging boss, and you've got a limited area by which you can run to. It's not particularly big. He can hit you from far away, and you've got to close the gap in order to do any damage to him. When he just appears out of nowhere, his melee really, really hurts, so you've got to be on your toes. I would say he is tough, but he is also fair, and he is also beatable. So once we have done enough damage to him with the combination of shock bullets and poison, he does eventually fall down, and that gives us the trophy Talia Star Eyes, and that's for defeating the blind Huntress. We return to the crafting bench, and this time we're upgrading our poison bullets to level 20, which gives us the trophy Defend Against This. Since we defeated the Huntress, that leaves one boss left, and that's Chaos itself. We step into his circle, and then we see that Chaos is actually just a big jellyfish / tentacle monster. He has the ability to teleport and soak up a lot of the bullets that I'm shooting at him. My strategy here was to use the minigun and load it full of poison bullets so that the residual damage would add up and it would take him down quicker. The biggest problem with this approach was that although the poison was adding up and it was racking up quite a bit of damage, it wasn't actually doing enough damage as an initial hit. And so eventually, after a valiant fight, I do go down. On the second attempt, we tweak our strategy and we actually go for shock bullets as opposed to both lots of poison, and this seems to do a lot better. For me, the hardest thing about this fight is the mobs. There is a lot going on the screen at one time. Obviously, you've got the Chaos himself, then he's throwing out acid, which seems to dissolve the floor, and then he'll throw out a different range of Chaos at you. Some little tentacle monsters, some bigger ones. So for me, it's just the sheer number of mobs that come at you. This guy is the definition of a bullet sponge, but so long as you're aware of your surroundings and you keep moving, keeping your fire rate up, eventually you will topple him, which is what we do here, and it gives us the trophy, the Harbinger of Chaos, and that's for defeating Chaos itself. With the final boss in the game beaten, we're now on the sweep. We get our next trophy for crafting the 5th health increase enchantment on our robes, which gives us the trophy To Your Health. Cheers! Here we're crafting some dry vitae, and that's so that we can build the charming bullets for the level 20 Magus Elite trophy. All we have to do is put those on a weapon, and boom, that's another one. Unfortunately with this game there wasn't too much of a clean-up after we defeated the final boss. In fact, when we were fighting Chaos we were actually sitting at 52 gears in the Chronomancer and we need 53. So here we are putting the last gear back. That's number 53 for the All the Time in the World trophy. It's our final trophy now, so we go and withdraw all of the Arcana that we've got stored up in our bank. We purchase the cold bullets to level 20, and when we craft them we get the trophy Full Metal Alchemy, and that's for crafting cold or forced bullets to level 20 or higher. And of course, because that's our last trophy, that does pop the platinum. So there we have it, another one on the shelf. So should you play it? If you love indie games and you have a spare 10 to 20 hours, then yes, it's fun, free on a PS Plus subscription, and you can play it with your mates. If you're still here, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.